Okay, let's have a look at the possible type of questions and answers from Module 10. First of all, Type 1 questions. The following power circuit can operate the single-phase motor that will start when the start push button is pressed. Modify the circuit to operate the following task. A green lamp will turn on when the magnetic starter relay MC1 is energized. A magnetic contactor MC2 will be energized after 5 seconds of pressing start push button. So in this type of questions, they will give you one figure and they will give you some conditions to modify the given figure according to the given criteria or conditions. So first have a look at the question again. The following power circuit can operate the single phase motor that will start when the start push button is pressed, which means this circuit is used to start a motor which is a single phase one. So let's have a look at the figure first. It has an MCB, and you know that in wiring diagram there will be always MCB, which is miniature circuit breaker. There is overload relay. There is a normally closed stop button. There is normally open start button. There is a latching and holding contactor MC1 which will work according to the relay MC1. So this relay is the relay of a motor which is motor 1. Okay. So the examiner wants you to modify the given circuit according to these conditions. So the working of this figure as follows. When you start from here, when you switch on the miniature circuit breaker, the current will flow like this, and when it reaches here, if you press the start button, it will flow here, and this coil, which is the coil of motor 1, will energize. At the same time, the contactor MC1 will be closed and the current will flow like this even if you release the start button, which means this contactor is providing latching and holding of current even if you are releasing the start button after pressing. So this is the working of the current circuit, but you have to modify the circuit according to the conditions. Let's look at the first condition. A green lamp will turn on when the magnetic starter relay MC1 is energized. So let me highlight the important things here. A green lamp, which is an additional component, will turn on when the magnetic starter relay MC1 is energized, which means you need to add a green lamp with line and neutral, which has a contactor which will work according to this relay. Let's look at this answer key. So I connected a green lamp which symbol is like X with a contactor MC1 to the line and the neutral. So when you press the start button, this relay will energize and this contact will be closed and the green lamp will glow. So the first condition is done. Let's have a look at the second one. A magnetic conductor MC2, which means this is a new one, since in this figure we have only MC1, so you need to add an additional relay coil or an additional motor MC2, which will be energized after 5 seconds. Point noted. This should work only after 5 seconds, which means you need a delay timer. And you should know that the timer which will work after 5 seconds is an on delay timer. And um, it's given it should work when the start push button is pressed. So I need to connect an relay coil MC2 through a delay timer MC1 so that this MC1, this delay timer will be closed after the delay 5 seconds, and it's given this should work suddenly when you press the start push button. So it's not given it should work after motor 1 or MC1. So you need to connect the delay timer after the start push button. Take a wire from here and connect your on delay timer, which has a relay and a contactor. And please note that the motor you are connecting should be normally connected to the normally opened contact, and the contactor of the delay timer should be connected to the normally closed contact. So let's see the working. When you press the miniature circuit breaker, the current will flow like this. When you press the start push button, the current will move like this. This coil will energize. This will be closed, and because of this latching and holding current, the current will move like this. At the same time, this contactor will be closed and current will flow like this, and the green lamp will glow. At the same time, when you press the start push button, the current will move like this and it will stuck here for 5 seconds, and after 5 seconds this contact will move to this one, making this one as normally closed and this one as normally opened, and the motor 2 relay will energize and the motor 2 will work. So this is the working. So in this type of questions you will be provided with a figure, and you have to add additional components which will work according to the given components. So this is an example for type 1. I will show you a similar example of type 1, which is this one. So question number 2. 1 second, let me do like this. Okay. The following control circuit can operate the single phase motor that will start when the start push button is pressed. So it's again the same thing. It's given an overload relay. Its MCB is not given, it's fine. And it has given a stop push button which is normally closed, start push button which is normally open, a latching and holding contactor, and a relay coil. So you need to change this one according to the conditions given. Let's have a look at the conditions. Condition A magnetic contactor MC2, which means you need to add another relay coil, which is MC2, will be energized when the lube oil pressure switch. You remember this one in the theory, it is a limit switch which has a pressure or temperature predetermined value. It should be normally open type. When the value is reached, it should be closed. So which means this motor should work, which means the motor MC2 will work when this lube oil pressure switch or limit switch reaches its value. So you need to add MC2 along with the lube oil pressure switch. The symbol is like this with a T shape like this, and it should be normally opened. When the value is reached, it should be closed and this will work. So condition A is done. Let's look at the condition B. A magnetic contactor MC3, which means you need to add another contactor relay coil MC3, and this will be energized after 5 seconds, which means you need a timer delay, which is on delay timer, which is working only after 5 seconds. When the delay timer relay TR is energized along with MC2. So this is the point you have to note here. The delay timer relay should work along with MC2, not after MC2. So I will add MC3 first. MC3 with a normally open delay timer, on delay timer which is normally opened, and I will connect the relay coil of this delay timer in parallel with MC2. Why? Because it's given it should work along with MC2. If I connect this one in series after MC2, it will work after MC2, but it's given it should work along with MC2, so I will connect this in parallel. One important thing here is that if in the question it's not given the type, the figure of delay timer. You can use any type of delay timer. For example, you can draw either this type with a relay coil and a contactor, two contactor like this, or else you can draw the delay timer as in control ladder diagram. For example, you can add the contactor here and you can add the coil here. Which one is simple you can use. Okay, both are correct. So let's see the final working of this figure. So I will move from here to here, and when you press the start push button, this coil will energize, this contactor will be closed, and this will provide latching and holding of current. And when I move from here, when the pressure values reach, this will be closed and I will get the motor 2 will work. And along with that, the relay coil of the delay timer will energized. So after 5 seconds the timer delay, this will be closed and MC3 will work. So this is the working of the circuit. So these are the two similar questions of this type. Please practice this one, which is very simple. The important thing is that maybe you have to add a second motor or third motor. You should remember that this additional motor should work according to the given things, which means maybe they will work according to the given relay coil, or they will work according to a limit switch or a contactor or something else. So you need to specify that in the figure. For example, if you add a green lamp, it should work according to this one, so that it will add a contactor here. And you can use either this type of on delay timer symbol or even the same as that in the ladder diagram. Both are correct. And you should check that the overload relays should be always given closed. If you put the overload relay contacts as open, your whole circuit will be wrong. If you put the stop push button as open, your whole circuit will be wrong. So it should be normally closed. Overload relay and stop push button should be normally closed, and the start push button should be normally opened. That's all about type 1.